Welcome everybody to episode 5 of the Big 3 podcast. I am here, as always, with Gary12345. Oh yeah, that's an Abe Lincoln. And today we are also joined by Yoderlaheehoo, Yoder, aka #1 Pistons fan. How you feeling, bro?
Oh, I feel horrible. It's bad. First off, what's up, Smashers? Second off, life is pain, torture, all the usual pomp and banter, right? But not pomp and banter is the exact opposite
For
of
sure.
pomp and banter.
For
It's
sure.
terrible.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
those unaware,
So-
Pistons did just break the actual record for most
Tied.
consecutive losses.
We're
Oh, tied it?
tied.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a
it was,
chance. There's a chance.
yeah, there's always a chance, right? In every situation, there's always a chance for everything. But
Yeah.
no, 28 losses in a row.
Dude.
You guys just spent 3 games this year. Me.
Yeah, I'm going to my first in a couple weeks. I'm pumped, bro.
Oh yeah. I hope to see you there.
Some of my friends like Daybreak, he was like, man, if I want to go to a game just to be there when the streak ends.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, I don't actually want to be there for the basketball. I just want to be there when the streak ends.
Make history.
Well, that was
Just for
I
the
think
meme.
it was Utah Jazz. Like they were down 2 of their best players, 5 of their actual players. It was a functioning G League affiliate team. You know what I mean? And that's the game that they all went to. I was there too, and we lost. So yeah, that was not a good
Bro.
game. I love Marv,
that's-
but sorry.
That's no good.
I love it.
You know, it's one of those things though, where it's at the end of the day. I mean, there are some games where the Pistons are hilarious because they'll play really good against a really good team, like tonight or
Today.
in Brooklyn.
There were
but
20
then-
points ahead at half against the best team in the league.
I know.
What the hell happened?
It was depressing. I think they just kind of like, that meme where they're like the dude sitting in the chair all relaxed and he's kind of like this and then he's leaning forward like that.
Yeah,
That's exactly
yeah.
what happened with the Boston Celtics. They were like, wait a minute, guys.
Hold on, we gotta lock in.
Yeah, but then we'll play those teams like Denver Nuggets, Golden State Warriors, all very close games. But then the Washington Wizards come to town, and we just get our behinds handed to us, to put it in the most polite way possible. But,
Sure. Dude, real talk though. Do you guys find that lean forward helps you or not when you're playing? Does that help?
Sort of.
Me personally,
Sort of.
no. I have to be as relaxed as possible, or else I'm like getting distracted with other stuff. Like I gotta be chilling.
I'm like a half lean kind of guy, so I can't just be on like elbows on the knees, right? And I can't mash. Like I just feel like I can't move. So I'm kind
restricted.
of like in this halfway. Like sometimes I'll be sitting like this, sometimes I'm more kind of like this, but I'm never like Nick Merckx. I'm never like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm pretty similar. I think usually like I start a set and I want to be in like the perfect lean forward amount, right?
Yeah.
I never want to start a set like all the way lean back.
Yeah.
So.
If you have to lean too far forward or back mid set, it throws you off.
That's a
Distracting.
good way to know like if I'm just digging around versus like an O2er. Is if I'm like leaned all the way back and I'm just like mashing buttons. That's how you know. That's how you know I'm just having a good time.
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. Sometimes they take advantage of that, and then you gotta be like, all right, lean forward a little bit.
Yeah, and then the gamer lean starts.
Yes, even if it's just like a little half lean. I'm right there with you, Garth.
I
Right
love
there
it.
with you.
I love it. Garth is good. I haven't heard that one yet.
For the first
Yeah.
time I called Gary Garth, Straw Hat Cord, 2021.
You got the backstory, bro. The full history of the nickname.
I'll ask that. How did you get on Straw Hat Dad's radar to join the crew that we are? How did that happen?
So I was in college when that happened. So I think the number, like in terms of how it happened, I could be wrong. You were always there, I'm pretty sure, but I think it went Tony and then Jad, and it was DI Downriver at the Ice Arena complex. So I was
That
playing
place is
Straw
fire.
Hat Kid.
Oh,
in bracket.
yeah.
And I was actually doing an internship with EG, Evil Geniuses at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
after his son beat me in bracket, we went next week.
Continue.
We got together and I was doing some research. I was like, who is this like grown man like just cheering on my downfall? I knew it was his dad, but I didn't know to like the extent that Aaron had in
Yeah, yeah.
esports, like
His experience
business.
and yeah,
It's crazy, and I was doing like a
yeah.
lot of like social media investigating, if you will. And I
Right,
was
right,
like, wait
right.
a minute, I got to make this connection with this guy. And I really, really came to appreciate what he was trying to do, not only for his son, but for that group of players, right? His overall vision and just like his overall energy. I really
Yeah.
wanted to be a part of it. I didn't actually become a part of Straw Hat Gaming until right after I graduated because I didn't want to have two tags. I just wanted to have
Yeah,
like the
you had
one
had the one.
prefix. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you guys want to like let the people know what they're all about, like for those uninitiated?
I would describe it as a passion project from Straw Hat Dad, and that expands to like getting me on board to help coach his son's high school team,
Mm.
right? And so he is the head coach for the high school's team, and I'm the assistant coach. Um, as well, and so he kind of considers that a Straw Hat Gaming program because
Mhm.
because he's the head and I'm the assistant, right? So it feels like that. As well as he is spearheading. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about,
Yeah, be
but
careful. Yeah.
yeah, he is spearheading a program that has to do with uh playing the video game. So it's in the later stages of its development, and he's been working with like big Duck Hunt fan on this, and so
Really?
yeah, and like he's been in Discord calls with Hungry Box talking about like what it can mean for them. So
Wow.
like I said, I think Straw Hat Gaming is mainly like just a brand that we like to put on ourselves, that shows our appreciation, support, and connection to Aaron, and then vice versa, right?
Yeah.
Aaron's association with us, and the kind of things we say and like the things we care about in terms of like Smash Bros development, whatever.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
That's
there's a
that
hierarchy, like community aspect to it too, right? It's like his kind of motto for it is never stop improving.
yeah.
Mm.
It's not just us, right? Like the players or the coaches or whoever. It is if you're in the community, whether you're in the team or not, the goal is to share the knowledge, right? Grow individually, like together, and all those aspects. And that's one thing, not only that I think Straw Hat Kid kind of embodies for himself for sure. I mean, he's the embodiment of like never stop improving, right? Um, but it's kind of like a trickle down effect, right? It starts with him, and then it kind of makes its way to us, which makes its way into the community, like the
Sure.
Straw Hat community, which then makes it into the Smash community. So it's kind of like a unique little community style. Another aspect of it to add on to Gary's point.
Yeah, 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 and it's like we're all very different. Like
Right.
we're all sort of the same. We're also all kind of different in terms of like how we approach the game and like what's important to us, et cetera, et cetera. So
Yeah,
right,
that's
we've
a
got
pretty
right,
like eclectic group of people. When he was like naming some
yeah,
of the people that were like he said like Tony and Jado and Yoder and Gary, I'm thinking what a insane pairing of people. It's
yeah,
like I feel like
Uh,
each one of those people approaches the game with such a different mindset and such a different mentality about like what's important and what's like what matters to be good at, what they value about enjoying the game, and that's like really important to have in a group like that. Is people who view things differently from each other.
yeah,
yeah.
and you're missing the big three from Ohio too, other than Gary, right? I
Oh yeah,
mean,
Hmm.
Tsunami, Lyrical, and Toasted Art. I mean, those are all like you're just totally right, right? Like all of us kind of have like a different perspective on what we actually want to get out of the game, and it kind of is a very nice complementary. We all complement each other pretty well. I think there's a couple of us that have similar goals in terms of competitiveness, but for the most part,
sure.
we all kind of bring like a different mindset slash energy at its core root to the team.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you met him in college, and that kind of brought me to something I wanted to talk to you about. It's just like the importance of like being involved in stuff in college. Um, all three of us either have or have plans to be involved in like school esports, right? I have in high school. You two both have, or both are currently involved in that type of thing, and that's why that can be so important. Is because you wind up meeting this guy that's out there like making big community moves and doing a bunch of behind the scenes stuff that I'm not even aware of, right? That just like
Keeps us in
to
the dark
emphasize
a
the
lot of it too,
importance,
so.
right? Naturally.
Yeah.
Straw Hat Dad is the Dark Lord at the end of the Smash community tunnel.
Yeah, and he is just one guy for the most part. Like he's not.
For sure.
It's not like he's paying us to do certain amounts of things with the brand really, or like in those projects. It's mostly just what he wants to do in his free time, and then he might ask us for some small help in like terms of like testing or like advice. So it like the back end stuff is definitely mostly him. I don't.
He very
Like,
much
take
seems
his
to
credit.
be like an ideas guy, like he will just have an idea, and if he doesn't have what it takes to see that idea through, he's going to find somebody who can help him do
Yeah.
that or do it for him for a price,
Yeah,
The
I don't
idea
want
is happening. Like,
Yeah.
if he's got his mind on something, like the tenacity of Aaron is something that I respect so much from, especially from like a young professional business perspective. Like this dude, like he's got one like mind, or like he's got one goal in the mind, and it's like, I will accomplish this. Like I will do this, right? Like
Yeah.
he is a
All right, yeah.
go-getter. I respect the heck out of him for that. That's for sure.
Yeah. I don't want to take your whole episode on Aaron Straw Hat Dad though. So I've got a question. I've got a question for you because
Yeah.
it's obviously relevant for me. How has teaching Smash Bros been different from teaching other sports? Is the broad question I'm going to ask you.
Coaching esports is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's a melting pot of people, right? Because sometimes
Sure.
when you, and I'm gonna draw back to basketball for me, just because that was my background before Smash, especially at the collegiate level. The thing when it comes to coaching a more traditional sport like basketball versus like an esport is, with the esport you're going to get like that melting pot, and by melting pot I'm not just talking about personalities, I'm talking about your experience with the game,
Everything.
where you start with it, right? You don't start playing high school basketball at 17 years old,
Mhm.
but you can start playing Smash at 17 years old, and you're starting off brand new. And then I think even within Smash, right, sometimes you have those that are used to traditional other sports, so they're familiar with how to operate in a team, familiar with, self-discipline, timing, coachability, those kind of things. I think when it
Yeah.
comes to coaching Smash, one thing that's really different than other sports is really, are the players you have self-motivated? Are they motivated to get involved? Are they motivated to want to improve outside of being the team, right? Because it doesn't matter if it's Smash, basketball, hockey, volleyball, whatever, right? You can't get better by putting 2 hours a week in. Like, that's
Yeah.
just not going to happen. It's
Mhm.
not feasible. So if you have like that, 4 hours of practice a week, and you're doing it against the same people, and you're not doing Wi-Fi tournaments, you're not doing crew battles, brackets, like Wi-Fi, whatever it is, right? Like you're just not going to get better. And you can be taught as much as you want, but coaching Smash is complex to the point where some people just get it, and some people need to actually work at it. I mean,
Right.
we've seen, especially in Michigan, we've seen people like be like okay / good at the game, and then a year later, they get ranked, or it's, they start out pretty good at the game, but it takes them like 3 years to get ranked. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's all the above. So I think there's a lot of differences, but at the roots, I think the biggest difference is like that self motivation. Like I gotta really want it for myself. I gotta want to improve for myself. And I think that, and I can't speak too much to the high school level. That's probably more Gary's background.
Mhm.
But I think even I do see it from the high school level, and then even those that do make it to the collegiate level, whether it be walk on, scholarship, whatever. Um, you do see a little bit of it sometimes as you get older. You become more of an adult. It's like, all right, what do I actually want? What are my goals? Right?
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to be the LeBron James of Super Smash Bros. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know, Gary. What do you think from, you were a big tennis guy, right? You came from that more traditional
Yeah.
sport background as well. What do you think?
Tennis is similar to Smash in the way that like whenever something goes wrong, it's all your fault, right?
Yeah.
If anything goes wrong or right, I mean it's all your fault. And when you as the coach, like I remember I had a really the coach that I had during high school was extremely knowledgeable about tennis, and I have like so much appreciation for how much tennis knowledge he like gifted me. Um, and like I mean, and I tried really hard during high school to be very coachable and to like be very good at like absorbing
Yeah, it's very
information.
important.
And like trying to recognize like what my mistakes were and like how to get better at it for next time. Um, and that's just like it's just hard when I'm working with like these kids that aren't as invested as I was in me personally as I was in high school playing tennis. Um, part of it's just it's not as seen as the same, you know. It's you get these kids that are 50 hours into Smash Bros. And they've and they play their favorite character, and it's so different from me who played 2,000 hours of tennis before getting into high school. So it's
Yeah.
it's like so different.
Yeah.
Um,
I like what Yoder mentioned about like the aspect of self motivation, because that's not really something that's required as much in traditional sports, because a lot of the practice and the work that you're doing is mandatory, right? You have to come in like sometimes 5 days a week, 3 hours every
yeah,
practice. Like when I was playing soccer in high school, for example, over the summer we would have practice 5 days a week and then twice on Wednesdays.
well, I think that's
Like
it's
a
partially
lot of
set up that way.
mandatory practice, where in esports, basically always the self-motivation is required. There's like one school that I can think of that actually like imposes like required practices, where pretty much everything else is like how much are you playing on your own time when you want to.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that like I forgot straight up.
Oh
Back to
man.
you.
You got a point though. I mean, because tell me, Drew, what would happen if you missed a soccer practice? What would happen? Just what happened?
It like the whole first of all, the whole team's roasting you when you get back next time, right? It's
Yes.
it's like you miss a practice or two and you get back, everybody's like, man, where were you? The coach is maybe razzing on you, maybe make you run a little bit extra. But really the thing that I always found the biggest consequence, it's not necessarily direct, but it's if you miss a couple practices, a couple games, the coach is gonna like you less, and you want the coach to like you so you can play more, and B, you're gonna fall behind, right? Because you're not working as much, and there are, depending on the school and the sport, there's like
Yeah.
10 to 200 people trying to be better than you, and you have to be better than them. So it's like the aspect of competition among your teammates and like the people that you are going to be working with is the strongest motivator that I've noticed just in my experiences.
Yeah.
Something that's weird about that is like I'm looking at these all these fresh. I've got like 6 new freshmen, and they like see the hierarchy in front of them. They're like, oh, X player is better than X player, and they're all kind of friends. So it's like X player is better than X player is better than X player, and like they see themselves as like a certain spot in the ladder, and they don't see that they can like move up or like they can move it up.
Yeah, like they're
Right.
first there.
It's like they don't know how to move it up, and it's hard to communicate how to make that happen. In Smash especially, I think Smash more than like regular sports, it's really hard to be like, this is how you get a little bit better. But
Mhm.
like in soccer, it's like so obvious, right? It's like so obvious. Like you weren't at last Tuesday's drill. Like, okay, now you're just like 2 hours worse about shooting or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, not to mention if you don't show up, either A, don't play, or B, you or the team is gonna run. How do you impose that in esports setting? You'd be like, yeah, go do 2 down and backs. Like where? Like, in our little like
Yeah.
40-foot like arena room thing? Like no, like
20 reps jab back air.
Can you
Go.
imagine? Yeah, to start making do a bunch of jab back airs. That's hilarious. It's a good question though. Like, there's a lot of differences for sure. I think at the end of the day, it's what makes it unique. It's what makes it special, and
This is true.
I think giving an avenue of competition for those that might not be physically gifted or inclined
Yeah.
to the point to really succeed. Right? I mean, in a different area, being able to still channel that competitive energy and put it into esports especially dude, getting money for it in college, or winning money at locals in Smash's case, right? Meeting people. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a
just
whole,
beating your friends. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, or
It's
just like
just beating on your friends, man. Yeah.
definitely.
just like
Right.
the aspect of like being able to participate in a competition is like so important for so many people, right? That's like what drives
Right.
them in all of their like hobbies. They can't have a hobby without being competitive.
Yeah.
And there's a
Right.
lot of people who either can't or don't want to do more physically active sports. You know what I mean? And that's what I've always loved about it, and just about this community, because I've always been a big sports guy. But the issue is that I suck at them. So, so I like being able to have a place where I can A, be competitive, and B, have people to talk about being competitive and watching sports and participating in them, and how fun that always is.
Plus, dude, video games are so exciting. Like
Yeah.
that's why we all like
They
them.
definitely are.
For sure.
Yeah.
They're so
For
fun.
sure.
You know, like more than just in all the hours and hours and hours I've played tennis, it just doesn't feel the same playing Smash Bros. Like if I like tennis as much as I like Smash Bros, then you wouldn't see me here, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just such a fun game for me. And I like tennis for different reasons, and I'm not like upset that I spent any time playing it, but like I just love Smash Bros. Just a drug.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, and it makes you feel good, and it also like hurts you so very
Yeah.
much. Like for
Just
the
like
amount of
Josh.
times, whenever I sit down against a Samus player, like the thoughts that are going through my mind are not
Yeah.
like normal. Like it's not like any ill intent towards the player itself. Most of the time, it's more like I don't know. I just sit down, and I just have like these emotions.
I don't know how much
that
you want to say.
I'll put a nice little cap on it. Like the way I can compare it to, it'd be like if I was taking my dog for a walk, and then a van pulled up and they said, "Hop in the van," and I'm like, "All right." So I hop in the van with my dog, and then I realize they're pouring gasoline all over the van, light the van on fire. And then I realized I left my phone back in my house. I can't even call my mom or remember when I'm going, like, I'm gonna die, right? And then they bail, and they just, like, put a freaking broom in the steering wheel so
He's
you can't
still
turn
going.
it. And you just, like, are driving towards the bridge, and, like, it's the last 4 seconds you realize, like, this is how I'm, like, about to die. That's exactly how I feel. Like, that moment, you're in flames. Your dog is with you. Your mom does not know you're about to, like, go goodbye. You know what I mean? You're just driving towards the bridge. That's how it
Wow.
feels sometimes, right? This definition of a drug.
And
was
Samus
powerful.
is doing runoff bombs, run back, get
Yeah.
back on ledge.
It's like on
Yeah.
one hand, Donkey Kong, heck yes, punching bag. On the other hand, Samus, explicit. Put an explicit word in my mouth right now. I'm not gonna do it just in case the kids I for Lacey
case
to
the
watching,
kids.
right? Like, but yeah, that's exactly how it feels.
Do you guys know what Hyperglaceon's like? Do either of you know?
His first name?
Yeah, what his first name is?
Yeah, it's Hyper.
Is it Hyper? So he won't let me call him his first. And I was like,
Huh.
why? I'm like,
That makes
his first name's
sense.
Hyper,
I'm like,
and his
Last
second
name
name is
Glaceon.
Glaceon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
So
remember
weird.
being like, when I was his age and younger, for as long as he's been in the Smash scene, I remember being like very reasonably so like paranoid about any like of my like actual information, like name, age, anything like that, like being out there. You know what I mean? So I feel like if
Yeah.
I was him and I was like a part of a community that's so rooted in online, I would probably be the same way. I'd be like, yo, dude, don't say that. You know what I mean? Like, I remember one time,
Not give my name.
'cause
I don't
I-
think it's like that. I think he's just like antagonizing me. I think he's just like, no, you can't do that.
It's like, yeah, you're this guy, Gary. Yeah, he's
No, you can't do that. No. So
yeah, because there's
Oh,
always
that's
like the. Have you guys ever met people that like refuse to say their middle name?
Yes.
that's like the weirdest
No.
shit to me. It's so strange.
You've never met someone who didn't want to tell you the middle name, Gary?
not really. I
Talk
mean,
to
maybe, I don't-
Boku next time you see him.
That guy will
I can
forever
only
be Boku to me.
imagine.
Yeah.
It'll not be Paris. It's just
No,
It's
he's
Boku,
never
dude.
Paris. It's Boku.
It's Boku.
He plays. He's the guy that chooses to pick hero and run across the other side.
Dude, because
No,
Paris is so
get his
cool.
buffs and
No, Paris is a sick name.
Paris is
You know
a
what I
dope
mean?
name.
Like,
It's a
I
cool
think
name.
Paris is a great name. All right, let's quick Boku segment. What's your favorite thing about Boku?
Yeah, you know what? That's a good
Boku?
question. People don't talk about the
Yes,
good things about
you're-
Boku enough.
No, that's like
Boku or
he's
Paris?
a champ. Paris. Like
Good
I
question.
think
Okay.
because Boku is really good about just letting people have fun with him. But this is like a Boku love segment. I love the kid. I think he's awesome. What's your one favorite thing about Boku or Paris? Either or. Yeah,
All right,
let's do Paris because Boku is the hero player.
Sure,
So
sure,
we
sure,
want
sure.
Paris.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what's
we
your
need
one
to.
favorite thing about Paris?
Gary, you can go first.
I mean, I'm glad. I'm just glad that we're doing this on the big three. Just
We got
I'm
got
ju-
enough clowning on Boku. We got to establish here and now
Uh,
that fiNESS and Gary are not Boku despisers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's a good
yeah,
guy. He's a good guy.
I will always appreciate how like down he is to like go to the tournament in the next state over, or go to the
Mhm.
tournament in West Michigan, or whatever, that kind of thing. Like it's just like, yeah, I'll just I'll get inside of Cal's dad's car and we'll go to the next state over and fun. They went to like Chicago like over
Yeah,
the
yeah.
summer.
What the
Yeah, that
hell,
was
baby?
us. We were there. It was me,
Oh, you guys
Boku,
were there
Dice,
too?
and Cal. Yeah, and
And the car broke down.
it was Cal's dad's
Yeah.
car on the way back because the
Okay.
car broke down like 30 minutes outside of Joliet, and we had to get picked up on the way home. shout out Pix for picking us up, and Cal's
What a guy.
stepdad for driving us home. What a legend.
Yeah.
But
Shout
wait,
out.
back to the Boku segment. Hold on, I gotta drop this. See, my favorite thing. I have a few things like personality traits in people where if somebody has that, I'm just automatically drawn to this person, right? And one of them is like not being hesitant to like speak your mind, not even in like a confrontational way, but in like a if I think something about this person, I'm going to tell them, right? And that's honestly with Boku more often positive than not, because a lot of
Yeah.
people will think stuff about somebody like, oh, I like the way this person like dresses, I like that joke you made, and then just like won't ever say it, So he has no problem spreading positivity if he thinks it, where a lot of people will like hesitate to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was gonna be mine. So give me a second to think.
That's the only one.
Because he is an overwhelmingly like I genuinely enjoy being around Paris.
Me too, dude. Me too.
You know what I mean? Like he is just a good dude, great head and his shoulders. You know what I mean? He's very motivated and he above all, he cares about you after the game. So we played at the Arcadian. We played in a side event. It was the Hall of Fame Invitational event. And I won the set, but afterwards he said, "I hate camping you, dude. I feel bad." And I'm like, I used to feel bad for grabbing people, but then I realized they're camping me. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm going to. Now that I think about it, yeah, I'm gonna grab you. You know what I mean? And I was like, I don't care, dude. I said, Boku. Camp me. You know what I mean? Like. Don't hold back. We'll be homies after the set. When we sit down, it's either W or L, and then we're homies again. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's it's just how it is. It's the nature of the game. I mean, it's the nature of all competition. So no, I really enjoy being around Paris.
See, I'll say though, what I like about Boku, separate from Paris, I think what's dope about Boku is how much of like a thinker he is about the game. You know what I mean? Like he will lose a set and then go home and watch that set 20 times. You know what I mean? He like
And practice it,
drills
too.
that stuff into his head, and that type of player to me has always been fascinating. Right? Someone who does more thinking, like more improvement with their head than with their hands. Because that's just such like a fascinating way to improve, because that's like so far from anything I've ever done. And that's something about Boku that I like and that interests me.
He is so Boku. I think his Smash mind is kind of like a hard drive. I think he can
Yes.
really comprehend 55 matchups for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then he has to re-practice them. And this is how I know. Boku and I have played like 10 sets, like lifetime.
Sure.
Every set that I've won, except for there was a couple times we played in the span of a couple weeks, but every set that I've won, and that was the one exception, was I did not see him get any matches with a Luigi player and any grind chords for like about 4 weeks. Every set that I've lost, I either played him and then played him the next week, Or I saw him get games with a different Luigi player like within the last couple weeks, and I
Dude,
don't know what
Boku
the
is like
percent
the
count
like
is, but he's really good about that stuff.
Boku is like the Batman with prep time thing, right? If you give Boku prep
Yeah.
time, it's raps.
Yeah, I like the most recent time I played him, like I won in winners. He then got to play Broly in losers, won, which rarely does. Broly usually beats him, and Broly and me approach the matchup very similarly. Not that we play similarly, but we approach the matchup similarly.
Sure.
And I definitely got co-wazzled all 3 games. So
Yeah, I watched that set live. Now that I think about it.
it was it was a rough 3 games, both under strategic sense and from an RNG. So
He gets the lockdown. Shout out to my boy Paris. Love you, bro.
Yeah, we love you, Paris. And now moving on from that, Yoder, you mentioned the like side event at the Arcadian. I don't think we've talked about that on the show yet, and I also haven't heard like anything about it. I didn't watch it. I didn't hear like anybody talk about it. How did that go? Like, what were the notable events from that? Give me the rundown.
So Tony went Donkey Kong in final bracket, and he made it all the way to either losers, finals, or grands with Donkey Kong. I think ultimately Zenodo won, if memory serves correct. I think who was out winners? I think it was Zenodo, Tony, me, Advo, famous, Robbie, Boku, and there's one more I'm missing. Did I say Zenodo?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Was it Dice?
I think Dice was not there. Dice was not
there.
he
wasn't there. Okay. See,
so
that's how little I know about like the proceedings of that tournament.
The only person who won all 3 in the round robin, well, without DQs, because Savon did not show up. So technically me, but there's a DQ, so I don't count that. But Zenodo also won all 3.
Okay.
Blue Boo, my boy Trevor, he went Game & Watch and went Game 5 with Zenodo.
Dang.
And that was, I will say, like, be on the lookout for that. We play Wi-Fi a lot. My practice partner, like, he has gotten rapidly better with the character. That was really interesting to me. Advo, I think, got 5th.
I love when Advo does that. It's like shows up out of nowhere.
Well,
I don't think he beat anyone crazy.
Quarters. No, he had to play me in winner's quarters, and I was like, and then I DQ'd after because I had a date night with my girlfriend and my family, and then I got the freaking stomach flu immediately after.
Shout out Arcadian.
So that's a real 0-2. That's a real 0-2.
Yeah, I looked right at Kyle Ray and I said, "Who do I have in winners?" And he goes, "Advo," and I said, "I might leave. I might leave early."
Yeah, you could have left right there.
I took the time to go Falco. That was like the more overarching like thing. I was like, you know what? I know what the result's gonna be if I go Luigi. So let's have.
How is the Falco coming along?
It's coming along pretty good. You know, I won. I lost the set 1-3. I started Falco. He went Dark Samus. I literally, and it was kind of like a Detroit Pistons thing where you're just up by 20 and then you just lose it right at the end. Yeah. I think I was up 2 stocks to 1. He was like 120%. I looked at Julian and all the kids cover your ears. I said, "I'm beating this guy's ass." And I was at 0%. He's like 120, 2 stocks to 1. I lose the game. And then he starts going like the wheel of characters because he didn't want to do that again. And I was like, that's the matchup I want to like practice. So I threw Luigi back in there.
I understand.
Yeah, and then after I won with Luigi though, I said I'm gonna go back to Falco because I want to practice, hoping he would do Dark Samus. He did not go back to Dark Samus, but it was fun. All in all, shout out to Kyle. Dude throws some really good events as he always has. It was a really fun event. I think I really would have wished, like from a personal standpoint, that I'd stayed and competed, just because gauging how the losers run was looking, it was all other premier players that I either am positive on or do very well on usually. But it was kind of one of those things where in that moment I was like, you know what, go, like my girlfriend and parents are actively sitting in a restaurant right now, so I was like, we need to go.
Your girlfriend was eating with your parents without you waiting for you to show up?
Correct.
Yeah.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah, it was quite. Yeah.
That's Giga Chad. That's
Oh
what I
yeah,
gotta say.
oh yeah.
Wait, for me or her?
For you,
For you, dude.
bro.
Keep her
Oh,
waiting.
Oh yeah, big time, big
I,
time.
I wanted to stay and play, but you know, you got really important things out that way too. So
Yeah, naturally.
yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. It was
That's
a good event.
another
A good event.
that's another really motivated person in the scene you mentioned, Kyle Ray. Like that dude like is
Yeah.
one of the most like just when I see him around or see him on Twitter, he always seems to be A, very invested in what he's doing, and B, very much having intent to do more and to grow.
Mm.
Like he's like very seldom willing to settle with like where he's at.
He goes to almost every single like major. It feels like
Mm-hmm.
whether it's by himself or he's bringing, a couple of our young studs. I mean, I feel like he's just always at it, like Genesis. Let's make moves. I mean,
He's
like
out there, man.
he's just going. He went to Battle of BC, which killer event, right? I mean, you can't miss like the really big ones. And he just cares. He's like the embodiment of dude has been graduated, working his full-time job, but like Gary said it best, like, man, I love Smash Bros. Like that's exactly how he is.
Yeah, that love for the game can be few and far between these days. So I always love seeing people who are still like that, like unapologetically passionate about it and still willing to like put in the time and love and have a good time with the game.
Yeah, and especially to help others like have a good time with the game. I think that's like without
For
Kyle,
sure.
like Michigan Smash does not look the same.
Yeah, Onan misses a few majors, no?
Big time. Oh, big time.
Mhm.
He does not go to Battle of BC. I know that for a fact. Did he go to Genesis this year or no?
I don't think so. SmashCon?
He did go to SmashCon. Oh, yeah, the SmashCon. That was a really big, shout out to Kyle.
Yeah,
for
dude.
that one.
For the Dubs run.
Yeah, for the Dubs run. That was a good tournament.
He
Shout out
might
to the
be
Meister
one of
Sora.
the better doubles players on the planet right now. He like puts up insane numbers in doubles with like someone I had never heard of before teaming with him in doubles with Lol Yoshi.
Yeah. I don't think I ever see him queue up for singles like once in a blue moon. Like it's always just trying to find doubles, like Wi-Fi doubles, which
Yep.
me and Gary know especially. Like Wi-Fi doubles is
That sounds pretty bad. That sounds pretty bad.
it's a thing. It happens. That's
It sure does exist. Yeah.
it's a thing that does exist.
Did you guys used to do a lot of Wi-Fi doubles? You implied that
No, we were just practicing for Riptide 2023.
sure. Okay.
So and we had mixed experiences. We'll leave it at that.
It was double Bowser, right? We got
Yeah.
washed by double Bowser.
Yeah, we kind of got rocked.
Hey, I
by,
know a thing or two
Oh.
about Bowser and doubles. I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
yeah. That's true.
I'd like
Mr. Fourth place.
Hey, what
Fourth
can I
place?
say? That's the
Big
one
Big
thing,
Fourth
Nubbies
place?
guy, yeah.
dude.
You
big
found
time.
your new passion project within Smash. It's just being godlike at doubles.
No, I have always said that doubles is a very underrated game mode. I think doubles is super fun. And I always I respect the hell out of like real doubles mains. You know, like the
Yeah.
twins pretty much own it at this point. I am like a big fan of people or like high level doubles. Just fascinates the hell out of me.
Yeah. So, quick sidebar. This is always a debate for TOs. Pick one side event for a monthly. What is it? Doubles?
I think it's
Watch
doubles.
break? You think it's doubles?
Same.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, you're gonna get different responses out of people, but I mean, I think, especially since I'm a tennis guy, I think like doubles is the perfect foil to singles.
Yeah.
Like, right.
I agree.
It's a team game. It feels so different in terms of like how matchups work and how like positioning works. You can like team combos are like so different. Like the closest thing that you have in singles is like duck hunt, throwing can, and then you combo off.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
can,
like grenade
right?
setups or something.
Right, like that's the closest thing that you get to like that skill of like knowing what knockback feels like and being able to combo it. So I also think doubles is like equally as cool. Cough, characters harder, but
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
stuff like Double Game and Watch Double Sonic doesn't exactly help my case, but I really like
See, that's
Who
the thing
was
about
doing
doubles.
double Sonic?
Probably what like Sonic's Ken or something. Like, did they ever team up like that or?
God, I hope not. I would not enter that event. Like,
Yeah,
Well, see, but that's the thing
they
about
did team.
about doubles is that I feel like there's much more parity when you see Sonic versus just Sonic in bracket. I feel like there's a lot more room for like things to happen that are more entertaining, you know. And I feel like even if it is two characters that are typically pretty lame, you very rarely see things like Spargo Sonics at Watch the Throne where they're both just like standing on opposite ends of the stage. That's never happened in doubles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that much I very much agree. Doubles much more than singles encourages interaction.
Yes.
A lot of characters like our I don't know. Maybe you don't agree, Zach, but I think
I
doubles.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Because
Listen,
there's
I get
also
to actually like.
each individual player has less space to work with, right?
Hey,
So you
my
can't really
point
do the
is
whole controlling
they
space thing.
can't camp me, dude. They can't camp in doubles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no camping in double. There's no Samus run across the stage, shot while
Well, you know, Steve makes it, you know, he tries really hard to make it feel like
Yeah.
there's not interaction going on.
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah, I think maybe the only non-interactive doubles set I've seen. I don't remember what it was, but I have seen Double Steve. I want to say it was at Big House. I think Onan might have teamed with another Steve player, and they both did a bit of a. Both of them build walls on the other side of the stage, and the other team didn't really know what to do about it. But
Yeah,
that is another
I mean,
example I think of Steve
What
kind
do
of
you do about
transcending like the game's normalcy rather than
yeah,
like an
I mean,
issue with the
I also
format.
think Steve, I definitely think Steve should also be banned in doubles kind of thing. That
Yeah.
character just
Yeah.
like just because the gameplay is so different, right? Whether or not he is the best character or not, I just so different and whatever.
Yeah. The Steve
I don't
ban's
want
a
to be
whole
on
other
that topic.
It's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also probably like other people that you could pull in. That would be a good idea for a future episode to have one person who does not want Steve banned and then one who does
Just have him
like
go
debate
at it.
style. Like let's go, guys.
Yeah, we could do that.
Bring
Little
me
like
video evidence. Bring me all of the evidence.
presidential debate.
Like,
Give me Gar. Give me somebody who is like very much pro Steve, and just have me like moderate. Be like, so what do you think? I like.
I was gonna say, Zach, do you have any thoughts about your season or the Michigan season as it comes to a close? Like it's December.
oh, the
it's
winter
late in
season.
December. Yeah, like do you have any thoughts? Like, do you have any thoughts about your own season, or were you taking like the back seat?
I actually just talked about this. I streamed for the first time in a very long time.
I saw that. Oh yeah.
Because I think I was streaming like balloons, tower defense.
Which one, bro? Which one?
I've been in one of those.
Six.
Oh
You
yeah.
were you played chess with you. So my capture card died. So I could not stream Smash, and I was trying to honor the Pistons' 27 game losing streak by getting 27 wins.
Yeah.
First off, two anti-shoutouts. Tony stream sniped me at 10. He went Samus, and I barely won. And then Copel stream sniped me at 18. Also last hit, but I lost that time.
Oh, dude.
So I had to run it all the way back. I got to 10, lost to some rando joker who was like godlike. And then I got to 26. I tweeted, last one. What could go wrong? I think I queued up with Mabel. The Dr.
Mabel
Mario.
Doc,
Yes.
yeah.
Wow.
It was also like an excruciatingly like last hit situation in which like I just had a miss input, missed a kill confirm, and then played a little bit more neutral than I lost. I lost at 26. It was 3 in the morning. I was like, yeah, it's not happening again. Yeah, to your point, Gare. Two pools of thought. Well, I think we'll go with just me first. After getting ranked, it was kind of like I don't know. I was not motivated for about a month, and then I got motivated again. But I overall kind of took more of like a backseat approach. I kind of spent a lot more time practicing or watching the Pistons and skipping the movement, skipping the regionals. I didn't go to an out of state event.
Sure.
No, Indiana. That was brutal.
You were at Lucid, yeah.
Yeah. So for me,
you had a rough
I think,
bracket at Lucid.
yeah, it was every time I go, I fight their snakes. Like I think I fought like 5 snakes in 2 Indiana tournaments. I think I got 17th still or something like that, but it was definitely not what I wanted. Anyways,
Sure.
Sidebar from the pity party, right? I think I did enough. If they do 15 man, I'll slide on, but it wasn't like when it comes to me and the methodology of like getting ranked, I think it was, I tried really, really hard, and a lot of the 50-50s that I missed on my previous couple spreadsheet seasons, like I won like most of them. I think I had like 12 ranked wins to get me 10th in Michigan. In this season, I think I got like five or six, but I went to half the tournaments. I didn't go to hardly any regionals, and the ones that I did, I lost to Robbie. I've lost to Robbie like 8 times this season. Shout out to Robbie, but like, dude,
what was your like
so
best single tournament run this season? Like, did you have a
this
standout
season,
like that, or?
no, dude, it was just
Damn.
well, maybe the dude, because I haven't done a lot. Maybe the Michigan State Invitational, like
Yeah.
probably that one. I think I started losers.
You beat Straw Hat, right?
Yeah, I lost game 5 to Suspect, and that was a big one because we were 3-3 set lifetime. I was up 2-1 and just got like a nice clean 2-0 butt kicking after that. I lost 2-3 to Pack Slash after being down 2-0. I think in the 2 games that I won back after that, I think that was the best I played like in my career.
Damn.
Like I was hitting like I'm not gonna he who shall not be named, but I was playing like somebody who the band Luigi, right? Like I was. I'm talking about my boy Matt. But like it was like the best I played in a 2-game stretch, and then I just barely lost that game 5. So I think I beat Pix 3-1. So it was like going in loser side, I won like 5 sets. I played like 4 or 5 sets to get top 8, eventually losing to Rydra. But like I didn't have like, and in the season I got ranked, and this is like my message to all those that are like either they have their spreadsheet seasons or they're fringe or they just can't like get over that hump. It's like you can't get 1 or 2 tournaments and then get excited. You know what I mean? Once that happens, like you're done. Once you start thinking that you belong without already actually having proven that you belong, like it's just not how it works, right? I think I had two spreadsheet seasons leading up to it, to me getting ranked, and then it was the consistency, right? I had like 2 unranked losses. I top 8'd, I think almost all movements but one. Top 8 a couple of regionals, right? I had the winning record on a lot, like 5 or 6 people that were premier, and then there was just flat out other wins, and then like the other 6 that were considered premier. So it was like the consistency is what matters, and then once you're there, like you don't just get taken off by having like a lesser than showing. It's more of kind of like a once you're already on, as long as you take care of business, they'll keep you on. But if you don't go to tournaments and you lose people that you shouldn't lose to, and you really just don't beat any ranked players, like there's no reason to keep you on. So I think if they go 15, I think I'll slide in like that lower end, just from the pure fact that I didn't lose to people that often. I think I took two uncalculated losses, I guess you want to say.
Yeah.
But it's also half the sample, so I went to like 19 or like a lot of tournaments when I got ranked.
I'm fairly sure they will go 15, by the way. Just like from what I've heard, yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll go 15, unless I'm misremembering.
Okay, well, in that regard, I'll probably slide on like in the back end. If I don't make it on, I won't be torn up about it because it was like self-induced. You know what I mean? It was like the amount of chances I could have gone to that tournament, but I was like, nah, man, the Pistons are gonna win tonight. Like, I'm a massive Pistons fan, or I'd be playing with like Blue Boo. You know what I mean? It was like, and a big issue I think with the moving transition to like the season overall, there was a massive lack of motivation, as it normally does in this time of the year. You know what I mean? Like the fall winter season is always like, man, like the movements aren't getting a lot, the West tournaments aren't getting a lot, like there's not that many regionals. You know what I mean? When I kind of saw like, oh, well, numbers 1 through 9, those who are above me aren't going to tournaments, like it kind of I don't want to say killed my motivation for that first month, but I was like, man, I didn't see Dice going nowhere, Hawk, Talon, see Caleb.
It was like finals. A lot of them were locked up with school.
Yeah, and even before that, though, you know what I mean? Like, that was recently. I'm talking, the first month. Like, I think it was September or October, whatever it was, right? Like, people just weren't going to tournaments. And I think once that happens, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I'm more apt to go to an event if I know I get to actually fight for
Yeah.
me, I like having at least 3 or 4 ranked players and then like 6 gatekeepers there. You know what I mean? Like,
High
and I know
standards.
obviously I can be one of the people to do that, right? And put on that number, but like also I'm a fully employed adult with a loving girlfriend and a great family and a part-time job on top of the full-time employment, right? So it's like
Damn, what's that side hustle?
sometimes it's coaching esports.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's not my full time job. Admissions I can coordinate as my full time job, but I don't know. It's tough because this time of the year it gets dark at 5 p.m. You're tired. You just
Yeah.
work 9 hours. You're like, man, like I'm only gonna go if these people go, and if they don't, I don't know. So I think the season overall, I think is gonna look a lot different than this past season. I think we're gonna see like a shuffle. I think people who are going to have a particularly good season, Adam Suspect,
Oh yeah.
top 2. Zanotto's not there though. Owen's not there though. I think RD before he went back home, he ended his season in Michigan with that Michigan State run, and he had a run that I think he beat Druish, Dice, and there was one either Hawk or Savon, one of the two. So it was like a really good way to end it. So I think he will be elevated. I think he was at 11. I think he'll be higher than 11.
Yeah.
I think Cork's not going to be on it. See, Caleb might be on it, but maybe even not. I'm going to
How much
drop
stuff
way
did
down.
Packslash go to?
In theory, qualified. I think he'll get ranked.
Okay.
Like I said,
What about Northwestern or Northwood? Sorry, North.
so that's the issue too. So a big thing, especially being in conversations, hearing what it is all about, and seeing it for myself, it's like they get a bunch of data against each other, but it's the same way as like they're not going to weigh in Tony Rob the same way as like Tony Hawk or Rob Savon, right? Like if you got So Good Pop, Jja, Copel just beating at each other, playing rando characters like every other week, and
Yeah, it's always
they're practice
some weenie
partners. Like
characters.
yeah, they're practice partners. They don't really go to like, oh, is Jja going to qualify? Regardless, right? Like
I
I
think
don't know.
I think Jja is like a shoe in top 5.
Okay, so he does qualify then, but I don't know if Sogapop went to enough or did enough. Copel definitely did not. I mean, he
He's
farms
been on that
Northwood
Smash Bros
tournaments,
grind,
right?
bro.
He's been on that Smash Bros grind.
Top 10 in the world right now.
Yeah, I can see that. So I don't know. It's
Him and Raymond Noodles are like the dark horses of Michigan online
Smash
Smash.
Bros. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to kind of summarize, like for me, I won't be mad if I don't get on because I know 2024. I personally am very, very ready to just kind of like attack with the same mentality that I had
Oh yeah.
in the summertime. You know what I mean? Like just get back into it. If I do, cool, whatever. Michigan Smash as a whole, I've seen 2, you know, September to December seasons in which everything just slumps way down. So I'm not going to discredit if anybody who wasn't ranked before gets ranked for the first time. I'm not going to discredit for those that
For sure.
are clearly really good players like your C Caleb, like your Talon, that probably just didn't enter enough to qualify. They're not on, right? And that's the thing. You kind of have like that 3-season threshold to kind of prove like I am consistent, I'm with it.
Yeah.
I see people like Boku and Druish, even though I think they've missed the last 2 rankings, like I still see them as, top 20, top 25 players, all in all. If you include everybody, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
still
because they're
see them in
both
that
like
category.
competing so consistently, and like they've never dropped below a threshold where it's like, damn, I feel like Boku hasn't beaten anybody good in forever. You know what I mean? Like they're both
Yeah.
kind of always lingering in that lower area where if you fall below your like skill gap, they will eat that opportunity right up.
Yeah, 100%. I think that kind of is a good point in terms of those who are trying to become those level players, right? And the Arcadian was a good showcase too. I think.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. Avian's gonna be on there.
Yeah, that was nasty. That was nasty.
The Arcadian is interesting because like you essentially kind of prove that like I am the gatekeeper. You know what I
Avian
mean?
I do. I think
that
Avian's gonna
tournament.
make PR.
He
I don't
walked.
know offhand if he had enough wins, but I bet he had enough wins.
Yeah, I think he's good enough too.
He's definitely there. I think if he would travel more, I think he definitely could, especially like that. If there was like I'm saying, if there was a season for those who did not get ranked before to get ranked, like it is this season. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like and like I said, I'm not trying to discredit anybody and what they're saying. And for those that are trying to get to that level of gatekeeper or trying to get to that level of like lower PR, one piece of advice for me, especially not only living it but just like seeing it in other people, you gotta drop the pro tag complex. You know what I mean? Like the second you start making every day, every event is like, this is my showing, my day, my time. Like you can have like that mentality, but the second you start like, this is all about me and my journey and my path, like to you, yeah. But if you like put that out there, I mean, like first off, people are gonna want to pop on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Second off,
Motivates
like
your opponents a little.
it does, but you're also putting so much pressure on yourself. Like
Yeah.
an unnecessary amount of pressure is like, oh, if I don't do good at this local, right? Like a local, my life is over. My
Mhm.
season is over. Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, the second like you, the way I see improvement, and this is what really stumps a lot of people, is that they're so onto that protect complex, they know everything about themselves, which is a good thing. But if you're looking at yourself on the daily, you're not actually going to realize how much you're improving because you're doing it at such a slow rate. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, you don't see the sun move
Most
if you stare at it all day. It moves over time.
exactly. That's a great analogy, and it's like my advice to those people is like other people is going to see your improvement. Like you might feel like you're doing this, but in actuality, you're slowly climbing. You kind of hit that like curve going up. And then at that point, it's up to you as to how you
Yeah.
handle that stretch of improvement. Are you going to ride it and keep slowly kind of like doing that number, right? Or are you, because there are so many people, especially in Michigan, that have a credible stretch of about 2 or 3 tournaments. They forget why the chip was on their shoulder in the first place, and then
Mm.
you know what I mean. Like, there's a lot of really good players that would, you know, escape that. Oh, improvement isn't linear. I mean, first off, yeah, like what you put in is what you're gonna get out, and then it's never gonna just be a slow, steady thing, right? It's gonna be steady. You're gonna figure something out. You're gonna hit it, right? How do you handle that? Do you keep
Mhm.
that chip on your shoulder, right? Like you can't be thinking, especially because the end all be all for a lot of people in Michigan is to get top 15. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of people's end all be all. So it's like, oh, I'm there. I'm already there. Like you just like make you feel like you're a part of it. So
Yeah.
I think, shout out to anybody as we kind of close. I mean, movement 151, 2 days. I'll be there. Hopefully, I know Drew will be there. Garrett, hope to see you there. Like anybody that goes there, anybody that's trying to like make that last big case for them. Hope you guys get what you want this season. I think this is a good chance for anybody to really showcase, what they can get out of, who they are, their competition. Um, if you don't get it this season, if there's anybody who fancies themselves to kind of be in that position, don't let it bring you down, right? Keep
Mhm.
that chip on your shoulder. It's not the end all be all, right? Like it's all about at the end of the day, you know, you're not only improving in Smash, you're improving in life as a competitor, as a person, making friends. So PR is just kind of one of those things where it's kind of that. I don't even say it's a title. It's a recollection of like your persistence and hard work. And I think when you do it for the right reason, you find it. And maybe Gary, you can kind of add on a point too. There's a couple seasons where I was just drilling myself, like beat myself, and I just didn't do it. But then the 2 seasons leading up to, especially that season where I did get ranked, it was just like, you know what? I'm just balls to the walls. Let's just do it, right? Like if I fail, bummer. If I make it, that's cool. But we're just gonna enjoy the journey like these 3 months doing it, and then it ended up working. You know what I mean?
Wow. Wow. That Yoder insight, the wisdom, bro. I like that. I like that.
Dude, somebody called me a veteran the other day, and I like took a step back. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. First off, I've been playing the game for like 2.5 years, so like, chill with that. Like I am. We're all learning. You know what I mean?
was
Like I am
Yeah.
was
not.
my first tournament before yours?
Yeah.
Wow.
My first Smash Bros. Tournament was LFG Royal Oak.
Mine too.
Really? Wait, were you? This is like a core memory because when I first started playing offline, David. your buddy David, Lucas player, my buddy too, but obviously your buddy more. Like that.
Yeah.
He's my
that
friend. Back
dude-
off, bro.
Yeah. He had my number for like the first 5 sets, and the first time I beat him, it was like winners round 2, LFG Royal Oak. I popped the hell. I jumped out of my chair. I'm running around. Like it was like, yeah.
Them
he
winners
had my
round
number
2
for-
pop-offs hit different, man.
No, they do. They really do. Especially like right then and there. Like
I love
this
it.
dude just beating my ass like all the time. Like I beat Midland, Michigan. David would be there beating my ass. I beat Royal Oak, Michigan. David would be there beating my ass. They go
He's
to Ann
following you,
Arbor,
bro.
where I live. I fight him, losers round 6, 5, 4, whatever, just beating my ass. So yeah, shout out to David.
We love David, bro.
I love David. Yeah. Good
Shout outs. All right, let's wrap it up. So
Yeah. Couple
sorry.
quick shout outs. Yeah, I kind of went on a tangent there. Thank you guys for having me on the show.
Thank you. Please do.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah,
both of you guys.
Yeah, Yoder wrapped that up beautifully for us.
Yeah.
We do hope you
Quick
enjoyed.
shout outs for, sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Couple quick
no, do it,
shout-outs.
do it.
Yeah,
Do your shout-outs.
First
Oh,
off,
yeah.
shout out to both of you guys. Crazy content creators. Love you guys. Doing a good thing. First major shout out, my boy KJez. Keeping your thing, bro. You're doing a lot with
Yeah,
the
shout out
tournaments, making
KJez.
sure we got them regionals. So shout out to KJez. Second big shout out. Of course, like I said, I already said you guys, but Dyson, love that dude. Falco coach.
The goat.
You know, always good influence. And then, yeah, I think it's probably my shout out. So thank you guys for having me on the show.
Hell yeah. Thank you for being on it. I appreciate your wisdom. I appreciate the advice. It was a great episode. I like it.
It's good.
yeah.
Because like
Shout out to Paris.
there's like 2 types of episodes, right? There's like the conversational ones and the like just get our guests to yap as much as possible, right? And I'm very much down for both types, right? So
the early
yeah.
episode where he was just going, I love Keaton.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
shout
think-
out to Keaton. Although he tried to make me out to be a bad dude this past Monday.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah. Nah, love
He
my
can
dude.
miss sometimes. He's not immune to missing.
A little bit. There was a lot of misses that were happening. Gary, you missed a very interesting conversation that we are
Oh
not
my
going to
God.
talk about on this.
I'm not going to bring up anything about that. But yeah, thank you everybody for sticking around. Links to myself, Gary, and Yoder all in the description as usual. If you want to be on the episode one day, potentially we do have that Google form down there. Give us your info so we can see it. We will read all of those probably. So again, thank you for sticking around. Gary, you have closing words. Yoder, is that all?
No, it was a great episode. So.
Yeah, go Pistons, go Paris. Yeah, that's all I got. Go
Awesome.
Pistons, go Paris, go PP. Jeez, I made it the entire time without like a bad joke, and there it was.
Hey, we had to get one. At least it was
We
at
had
the
to
end.
get
There's
one.
probably nobody watching anymore. If you did watch it, DM Yoder on Twitter and make fun of him.
No.
We gotta stop doing the white person like go on forever. Come on, closing, you know.
Yeah. All right. Thank you everybody for sticking around. It's been fun. Check the description. Goodbye.